Welcome to Ashling's Holistic Health Show. I'm Aisling Fitzgibbon, holistic nutrition coach and occupational therapist. This show brings you the best tools and ideas for you to take your health into your own hands, your true place of power. Thank you for joining me tonight on my first interview for my Aisling TV YouTube channel.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me on the show.
So James, can you let everyone know what your journey has been getting into healing and what led you to choose the role that you're now leading?
There was a series of events actually over a long period of time that pushed me down the road of well-being, and I went through a very traumatic experience when I was 24 in Tramhor, where I was kidnapped by armed raiders and taken off in my car and brought out to the countryside and tied up and thrown into the boot of a car and almost beaten to death with golf clubs that they found in the boot of the car. Mm-hmm. That kind of started it, and I was lucky to survive that incident, and it took me a long time to recover from it. And that sent me on a more spiritual path. Really, that was the catalyst, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, because I met you through activism, really being awoken to, the corruption and all the different things that we weren't particularly happy with. So I met you in a weekend in the Boghill Centre in County Clare, isn't it? That was in 2012, so quite a long time ago. Hmm. But instantly connected with you, and we a group of us from Ireland, we all mapped out our vision for what we wanted to see happening amongst all areas of our community and our country. I think we set those ideas in motion, but we've all taken our own path. So I just want to really get you to express how you came to where you are now, and then obviously you're going to tell us what you're up to now and your exciting new venture in Waterford.
Yeah, the Boghill was an amazing experience. There was a call out for, we were all activists at the time. We all realised that there was something very, very wrong in the world and in our country, and that the old systems were starting to crumble. Mm-hmm. And we realised that we had to come together with our own idea of what we wanted to see ourselves for our own future. So I was invited along by Awaken Ireland, and I met yourself and your mother and Paul Byrne and many other people as well along the way, and we all coalesced there at that centre, spent a whole weekend discussing what is Ireland's best possible future, and a lot of friendships were born from that, and I ended up moving to Wicklow and living there for 2 years. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
from that, I managed to find a way to make a living with an amazing device called a scanner device. It's Russian technology, which helps the body to heal, and it's called energy medicine. And there's no pills involved, and it boosts the immune system and can help the body to cure itself of all sorts of chronic illnesses, IBS and arthritis and chronic pains and all sorts of different things. And that was a real help to get me into a position that I could set up my own business down here in Tramhor and Waterford,
Yeah. So can you tell us about your new wellness centre that you're just after opening?
Yeah, I decided I wanted to build a wellness centre here in Tramhor, and I had a vision a number of years ago to do that, but I didn't have any funds, and so I went away to Wicklow, and I always had the idea in my head to do it. And when I moved back to Tramhor, all I had was a machine. I didn't have anything else, no premises. So I started in the bedroom in my house and started getting clients to a local gym. Mm-hmm. And just got fantastic results, put YouTube videos up, Facebook videos up, and went from there to renting a room in an industrial park, and from there recently into a 1,600 square foot unit, and to build the inside of that into an 8-room wellness centre, the first one in Tramhor.
It's amazing. Yeah, I haven't had the privilege of visiting it yet, but I saw the pictures online.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely stunning. You've done a really good job.
Thank you. Put a lot of work into it, a lot of money, a lot of work into it, and a lot of the money that came my way to put it straight back into the business again.
Yes.
Very brutally for the last number of years to make sure that it was done right. I wanted to make sure it's done right so that that it would look just the way I wanted it to look. to make people feel very relaxed and comfortable when they walk in the door, you know.
What kind of services and therapies are you offering there now?
Scanner would be number one for me because that's how I built the business. And then across the hall for me, then I have a life coach called Tom Donahue, who's 20 years in the wellness industry. He's also a Reiki master, weight loss specialist, he's into nutrition as well. He's a fantastic man, really just incredible individual. And he's been a fantastic help for me. And I'm helping him, he's helping me. I'm more sales and marketing, he's more kind of management. So between the two of us, like, we're a great team. And we have a PA who used to be a butler for the Spencer family in the UK, believe it or not. He's also a florist and a chef, and he has all these wonderful skills. And we have a hypnotist starts just Monday on, and there is 3 yoga instructors that also be working out of the centre, and we have a number of other people then, a reflexologist, masseuse, and other people interested too at the moment. We're training for about 10 people working out of the centre.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's really good, really exciting to hear that, because for so long, I'm not sure about you, but from my own experience, I felt very, very despondent with seeing, you know, the healthcare system with the HSE and the government and things like that, and just really looking at it and going, that's not the way. And as a result, really carving my own path in nutrition. And I feel really inspired to see what you're doing in creating a hub for your community, for people to see that there is an option outside of the current medical system.
Well, there is, because, I mean, the way I look at it is that all illness comes from an imbalance in the body, and whether it's through your environment or through food or through your life experience, through shock and trauma, you know, I look at it from the aspects of physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional well-being. If any one of those is out of balance, then you're out of balance. So you have to look at a broad variety of sources of your ailments. And there's no point in just trying to address one. You really need to have a look at a lot of different things. And water is a big part of it. You were involved with that for a long time. You understood the importance of good water. Something I drill into people is that look at the water supply. You can't drink tap water. It's not safe. You have to have filters, or you need to drink bottled water. Second best.
Yeah.
It's just not an option. And then probiotics, multivitamins, proper salts.
Yeah.
You know, exercise, clearing pores of the body. You know, there's so many different things that you have to do to stay in balance, and that everything around us is toxic these days. So you have to be super careful now what foods you're putting in, and where the source of the food is. Really, the only solution is to come back to what's growing our own foods again, and cleaning the water, make sure the water is clean at a local source. And I think the key to turning over all of the problems that we have, and the extreme problems that we face in this country and globally, is to bring everything back to local again. And the only way to do that is to create employment locally, and to create events locally, and to excite people into looking at things from a local perspective, with festivals and arts and crafts, and exciting people into change. People don't change unless there is a reason to change. They have to be given something of interest to raise their energy, raise their excitement, and create something that's on the community level, to make people want to work together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you're kind of bringing together not just like the healing arts, but also like the actual arts with music and culture, and how to actually reconnect ourselves again outside of this like world of such negativity. You know, I've shut away, like we got rid of our TV like 7 years ago. Don't listen to the radio. Don't particularly want to partake in anything like that, but I think there's a void for people that I think is very important, like what you're saying about reconnecting and reimagining community events and things like that, which actually inspire and make you feel alive, you know, and that's the whole point of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's we have to look at where we came from and where our parents came from, and what's unresolved in our parents and their parents, and you know, the people that are brave enough to look at themselves now, and the programs that they're carrying from their past, they are the bravest souls. Because when you start to look at healing programs that have been implanted in you from your ancestors and your peers, people around you, your friends and stuff, you know, you have to be very brave to take all that on, because you're going to isolate yourself in a lot of cases when you do the hard work, and you go on the inner journey to clear out a lot of that stuff. Especially conditioning around spirituality and you know, the core programs that everyone is operating under, because people get scared when you start going into your belief systems. You start, picking holes at what their core values are. That's quite scary for people. But the generation is coming through now. I call them kind of the lost generation at the moment, because social media has become their god, and labels have become brands, have become their god. And for all of the failings of the Catholic Church and other religions, other organized religions, at least you had some sort of spirituality in your life. You had a regular thing going to church, and you had prayer, and you had different things, which are important. These things are important. To have a focal point around spirituality is really important. That's now missing. That's missing hugely in this country, and you see it in the youth walking around. They're walking around heads chickens on their phones all the time. And an awful lot of young kids are now really suffering hugely with anxiety, a deep anxiety and trauma, and a sense of helplessness. And and their parents don't have any answers for them, because a lot of the parents have moved away from organized religion as well. They slowly moved away. So that'd be my generation, people in their early 40s, late 40s. Most of them don't go to church anymore either. So there is a massive spiritual void. And I think that the only solution to that is to get people to get grounded again, to get back connected with nature again, and to find their own spirituality. You can't go back into organized religion again, because that clearly doesn't work. You can't brainwash people into your belief system. All you can do is help people to find their own version of their own spirituality.
Absolutely, and that's really where I've come to as well. And like I say, from becoming so fired up about the current, the old system, and then realizing, that's fine to keep raging against it. But I think in order to allow people to move away from that, you actually have to offer them that reconnection to their own self, which isn't, as you say, any imposed belief system from an expert or outside guru or authority, but actually getting people to reconnect with their own authority.
Well, that's it, Leslie. It's about looking at yourself from the point of view, well, we're all co-creators of our own reality, and that even scientists are starting to become aware of this now. The scientists have discovered something called the unified consciousness field, which pretty much says what Buddhism believes, that everything is connected to everything else. There is no disconnection. So if you believe in the idea of a unified consciousness field, then that means that your thoughts affect you and everyone else around you, and that you create a community and your nation and globally. So as we're all affected by things around us, and events, I think that's a lot of terrorism comes from that, because terrorists know the power of collective fear. So the opposite of doing that is to create an energy of enthusiasm and vibrancy in communities, and you can only do it on a local level. It doesn't really work beyond that, because you can only really affect people closely to you. So it's about kind of get yourself grounded in what's real. It's very easy to get lost in other people's idea of what's real. And when you're totally focused on social media all the time, all you're really doing is connecting with somebody else's version of reality. It's not yours.
Absolutely, and so I think it's so important for your vision. I think for me, like, it just really excited me to see what you're doing, because obviously I met you back in the day when we were like rage against the regime, and now it's nice, like we're like really maturing into our roles in like leadership and pioneering our own path. And just really kind of stepping up and allowing people to access that in themselves as well. Because I think, like, for me, seeing you do that also makes me have more confidence in what I'm doing, because I feel like, I'm not the only one. And I think for people to see this interview, for them to actually get fired up about like what they can do, what's possible in their own life, how they can affect change. Because I think you can get feeling quite powerless and hopeless when you see the enormity of all the problems that we face globally. But it's really just like stripping it back to like, what can we do on an individual level, and how can we create a life that is going to serve ourselves and the community and the world.
The only way that can really happen is if people get grounded in themselves and form their own kind of groups around self-care, looking after each other. And that can only really happen once you clear out an awful lot of the self-suffering programs that we're all carrying, and we're all carrying them from childhood. We've all been the victims of mass media, subjugation through mass media coverage. A lot of it's very negative. So it's very difficult to be grounded when you're constantly being attacked with negativity around you all the time.
Absolutely.
Now, that's not to say that we should all be walking around in clouds, in some sort of bubble of everything's wonderful and everything's perfect. Life
Yeah,
doesn't work like that. I mean,
yeah.
you've got, ups and downs all the time, and you've got good days and bad days, and you have to go with whatever, is going on in your life. If there's happiness or tragedy or whatever's going on, and just be present in whatever's going on and work your way through it like a sine wave, where sometimes you're up in the peak and sometimes you're down in the trough. And the idea is to try and find the balance in between the peaks and the troughs, so they're not too extreme. It's more about acceptance of where you are at any one time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very similar to where I've gotten to myself. And it is not a path for you have to realize it's not just all positive, in that to get to that place of peace in yourself, that you have to really clear out like all the rubbish and programs and crazy beliefs that you have no idea where they've come from, that have accumulated throughout the ages. So it really is, I think that's why your centre is so important, James, because doing this inner work, it's very hard to do it alone. I think people really do need to have the skill and support of people who've gone through that journey themselves. And, for you to offer that as a place where people can seek out if they are wanting to do that journey themselves, that you have that support for them. I think that's really, really important.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of work that I do in the Wellness Centre is about vulnerability. Mm-hmm. And an awful lot of pain comes from holding on to something that you don't want to let go of through fear. Mm-hmm. And some of the work I do, I developed a system of energy healing. Mm-hmm. I studied Reiki, and Reiki is excellent. But for me, it didn't go deep enough for really, if you want to be able to connect in with an awful lot of self-suffering programs that are very deep in your unconscious. You have to go there. You have to access that part of you that is like a big chunk of the iceberg that's submerged. That it's there. And like every experience that you have, it's in your memory. It's in the memory banks there. And the science is now discovering that that your memory is not just in your head. It's not at all. It's like the brain seems to be. It's more just like processing. That's all the brain does. It's like the CPU in the computer. The hard drive is your body. Not just your body, but around your body. And then beyond that, then is the superconscious, which is outside of your body. And it seems to be that's really where an awful lot of the subconscious memories are stored. Yeah. And to access that, you have to access it through your senses. This is what you have to do. This is the system of healing I've developed, is to tap in with the five senses and to get people into a very relaxed state of mind, so that they can connect in that which is stored in residual memories of your past, because if you don't remove the residual energy of your past, then it's still your present, and it rears its ugly head at the most unopportune times, especially around family and friends, people that are closest to you, that know how to push your buttons, whether they know it or not. That's when it really comes back up. And you can never really truly be happy in yourself as long as you're carrying an awful lot of the stronger emotions that are attached to your memories. So to be really clear and to be really balanced in yourself, not saying that I am super balanced, I'm not. I still have a lot of work left to do on myself, but I'm on that journey, and I've been on that journey for a long time. But you have to learn how to be vulnerable, and that's where an awful lot of healing comes from, vulnerability. And it's very hard to be vulnerable by yourself. You have to be around other people.
Absolutely.
To go there,
Yeah, because I feel it's like for me, it's needing like a midwife to midwife that process for you. Because it's very hard to hold yourself in that space, because you feel the emotions can completely take you out, or you need it's a time where you need to be supported to allow it to come through.
Yeah. Well, we've all been hurt by many people in the past, especially if you're quite sensitive. I'd be the first to admit that I'm a very sensitive person. And that I would take on other people's emotions very easily. I'll absorb other people's emotions very easily and experiences. And that for me, I have to mind myself, my own energy, and not to be too sensitive to other people's own traumas and their own experiences. For me to live a balanced life myself. But it does come down to, for me, a sense of finding the right people that are on the same level as you. And we're all different. We're all very, very different people. Yeah. So for you to really connect in with yourself and wanting to be at peace with yourself, I think it's really important that you find other people that are on the same level, the same wavelength as you, and how you feel about yourself in your environment,
Absolutely. So could you give me, say, your top tip or top 3 tips for your own self? Like, what self-care practices are you practicing at the moment to keep yourself in balance?
Well, I have a very hectic life now because Montrose opening up the new wellness centre there last Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I do when I get up in the morning is not every morning, but I would sit up in the bed and I would start to do a mindfulness practice. I might do for 10, 15 minutes just to rebalance myself, because what I've discovered when I wake up in the morning is that any unresolved programs, they tend to load up into my conscious mind, like a computer hard drive throws up, Windows operating system starts kicking into gear, and all of the startup programs start to kick in. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
And if from a military point of view, that when you wake up, your spirit comes back into your body again. It's the theory behind it that you've got a cord that connects in with your spirit and into your body, and when you come back in again, when you open your eyes, that you have to rebalance your spirit body back into your physical body again. So I do a bit of mindfulness first thing in the morning, and I connect in with how I'm feeling in my body.
Yeah.
And after a period of time of doing this, number of months, weeks or months, depending on the individual, that you'll be able to put yourself back into balance very quickly and get up and be able to face the day a lot more balanced and not be kind of spaced out. So I would have been very spaced out for the first hour normally when I wake up.
Okay.
And being quite negative, and an awful lot of negative thoughts tend to flow to my mind, and people that might have upset me in recent past, all start kicking off. All these different feelings and thoughts will kick in. But I'm starting to really get control of that now in recent weeks, really, to be honest with you. Then I would do some yoga stretches, which is really important to again balance the physical body, and to help to get everything moving and flowing, especially through the lymphatic system in the body, get that all moving and flowing again, and keep the muscles supple for your work day. And then I do some kettlebell work as well to keep my upper body strong, because I use my arms and body a lot with the machine that I use and hold positions, and it could be for half an hour in the same position sometimes, depending what I'm doing, 40 minutes. So I need to be very strong and supple. And then I do a smoothie a lot in the mornings, because I've realized the benefit of getting raw nutrition straight into your system first thing in the morning, and getting all the vitamins from different juices, from lemon juice and lime juice, and then the oils from the avocado, and then vitamins from the curly kale, and a number of different things. And that's been a big part of my breakfast regime for quite a while now, and I just have a massive amount of energy then to go through the whole day. And I have a small bit of sourdough bread to go with that, which is baked locally too. And between the two of them, that gives me massive energy. And I have a normal lunch and a normal dinner every day, and I've lost a lot of weight just from making that change. Sparking up your engine first thing in the morning with the right nutrition makes a huge difference to your body's engine, throughout the day.
Totally, yeah. Absolutely. And so, can you tell us what is your vision for your wellness centre, and what you'd like your work to do in the world?
I don't really have an overall vision for the wellness centre. I'm just holding the space there, to be honest with you. The vision is the vision of the community. The catchphrase on the front of the business logo there is creating a wellness community. That's what's on there, and that creation is going to come from people that want to use the centre and make benefit of it, and it's up to their imagination. I would be there just to hold the space and just to provide a facility for people or therapists to come in, and for other people like yoga instructors who want to come in, and people who want to do demonstrations and talks and workshops and stuff, things like that. They'd be the ones that would be creating it.
Yeah.
That energy would be coming from other people. The framework, I put the framework in place, and other people would fill it. And I'm very excited about the possibilities here, because with wellness there is no limitation. The only limitations in people's minds, really,
That's brilliant. So where can people find you? They want to check you out, say if they're not in the area, but where can they find you if they do want to make a trip, or if they are in the area in Tramhór?
Yeah, well, if they wanted my therapy, it's Natural Healing Tramhór, and Facebook page and website, naturalhealingtramhór.com. The centre is Tramhór Wellness Centre, so you just type in TRAMHOR and then Wellness Centre on Facebook. You'll find out. There's no website yet, we haven't got that far. But the actual centre is in the business park in Tramhór. It's right down by the back strands, in the perfect location. It's very, very central. It's only a stone's throw away from all the cafes and the prom and Tramhór is really happening place now. It's the third most popular town to live in the country now, so I've been told. And one of the fastest growing towns in the country in the last 10 years as well. And it's a really cool place to live now. I grew up in Tramhór. There wasn't much going on in Tramhór when I was a kid. The prom was like a ghost town when I was a kid. There was nothing down there at all, and now it's a very, very vibrant place. As soon as the sun comes out, there's literally thousands of people there, and the whole length of the prom, which is a number of kilometres long, it's completely chock-block with cars. There's loads of cafes there for people to go and chill out and drink coffee and walk the dogs, walk down to the dunes, walk the cliff walks, just go surfing, kite surfing, canoeing, golfing, pony trekking, horse trekking, whatever you want to do. There's so much there in Tramhór. It's really an incredible place. What I would like to see happening in Tramhór is that Tramhór would become a wellness community through therapies and music, arts, dance, song, sports, recreational activities of all sorts. That's what I'd love to see for Tramhór and many other communities again. They've gone so bad and they've gone so extreme now across Ireland and across the Western world and across many other parts of the world, that there's only one way that things can go again, and that's back to simple. It really comes back down to that again. You need to bring things back to what's the most important thing. Most important thing is family and friends and community and everyone looking after each other again, because modern civilization has created a civilization of narcissistic people. That's just reality. And we all have a level of narcissistic structure to us that is damaging. And for us to become more community oriented again, it's going to take a lot of hard work, Ashton. It's going to take a huge amount of hard work and trust. Trust your neighbour again. Doors are now closed all over the country. When I was growing up, you went in and you got lunch in your neighbour's house, and you went down to another neighbour and you got some, cordial, orange squash or whatever, and you went someplace else for biscuits. And this is the way it used to be in Ireland. It's all closed doors now. And first to reverse that trend again, it's going to take a lot of work. I have a vision for an eco village here in Tramhór. There's a number of other people that want to downsize their houses, retired people that there's not couples that can't get on the property ladder because the bank's not loaning money anymore. So there is a possibility now to build modular homes. Technology is there. Build modular homes that cost under 100,000 for a 3 or 4 bedroom house in your own plot of land. That you can have powered by wind, by solar. There's the Tesla batteries there to store your power. There's polytunnel systems there. You can build little workshops, and you can build a creche, you can build a bakery, fishmongers, butchers. You could actually build villages on the outskirts of current towns and villages that could create a whole new way of people living and interacting with each other again. You don't have to go back to living in communes. I have no interest in living in communes. I don't want someone else telling me how I can't live my life.
No, that's not going to happen.
No, I have no interest in that. I have been to that sort of thing, and it just went, no, this is not.
No, because we have to maintain our individuality within our connection to each other. Exactly.
What I'd love is that I'd love to see a village that is a modern version of an ancient village. You have the rolling hills. Like something like the Lord of the Rings. You have the rolling hills, the houses.
I'm there.
Everybody loves this idea of Lord of the Rings houses, but they're very possible. Just look at Green Magic Homes. I mean, these are modular homes that are very simple. Very simple to build. They're polymer shells that you put onto a concrete slab. All you have to do is have the groundworks done and ready to go. And if you set it up as a farming community, do it great. Then you don't have to have the headache of all the planning. There is ways around all these things, and they're welcomed by planning authorities. Planning authorities want these things to happen. They'd love to see it, and there's also massive funding coming from Europe now for rural development. So get on that gravy train and access those funds, and open up your village to tourism, and get on social media and start building social enterprise through tourism as well, and share what you do, what you build with other people who will be of like mind from all over the world. Because all you do is look at all the protests globally. People have had enough of the old paradigm. They don't want it anymore. It doesn't serve them anymore. They have grown out of it. They want to shed that skin. They are shedding that skin. They just don't have a new structure. They don't know what to do. And all they can do is protest. We've done the protest. We know it doesn't work.
Well, we did that for years. So we've been through all that experience, and that's the kind of the first wave of you you know, that's part of the process as well. But then it's like, and now what? It's like, what do we want?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what do you want?
Well, I want.
What do you want?
What do I want personally?
Yeah. What do you want?
My vision is very similar to what you were saying. Like, my vision for a long time, probably since 2011, has been to have an eco home and to kind of create this way of like living close to land and just making everything simple, but also not, as you say, going into this like communist type, or, you know, everyone merging and everyone trying to be the same.
Yeah.
It's about kind of having the modern technology,
yes,
connected into living naturally and simply.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, technology is there, is supposed to help humanity.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to hinder us. It's not supposed to control us. It's not supposed to be an Orwellian nightmare.
I know.
Where your every move is monitored by satellite. Do you know what I mean? And you're going to be hit by a fucking, you know, a Scud missile if you say the wrong words. That's not the future that I envision, or you or anybody else, and that's not what's going to happen.
No.
People are always going to always correct, you know, an error or a mistake in the development of humanity. It's natural order. It's always going to happen. Every civilization that ever rose always fell. There's always change, and everything cycles at time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Rome collapsed in on itself. You can see it's happening now in America. After voting in a businessman, you know, who is, you know, a hatchet man. At the end of the day, that's what he is. You're fired. That's what they've done. He's been voted, and the people have voted him in because they're sick of the current regime that is there. That's never going to change. Is he the perfect man? No, he's not. He's very flawed in many ways. But that's where we are. We're at that crossroads in humanity now, where people are so fed up of what's actually going on that they voted a hatchet man to be the president of the most powerful position in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're at. So that you can see that old paradigm is collapsing all around us. You see all these terrorist attacks happening all over. Whether they be false flag operations or not, I don't know. Right? A lot of them are, I'm sure. But it's just another symptom of the failed system that is creating terror to try and to preserve itself.
Absolutely.
And it's very easy to get sucked into that level of fear. I personally don't look at an awful lot of that stuff. You can spend all day looking at fear if you want.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at fear, then you're absorbing fear and you're creating it inside your body. You're creating it from your five senses. You're putting it into your body, and you're actually creating the electromagnetic energy of that fear, which ends up in your cells, which ends up making you sick.
Absolutely. And that was a huge part of my learning, was looking out and seeing the problem, wanting to change the system, but actually realizing that the new comes from within us. So it's actually what we're creating within ourselves. So for me, what I want to create is an online health school. So people are actually taking all of their power back for themselves.
Yes.
Their health, which starts with, you know, it's not just the physical nutrition, it's also about your mindset, your beliefs, the programs that you've come in with, just clearing away all the old stuff that's blocking our potential from coming through, because we all have our unique offering to bring through, and it's just about tapping into that. It's already there, it's just actually discovering it and then being able to put it into actual tangible action and, you know, seeing it come into fruition.
Yeah, and a lot of that is down to good listening skills as well. It's just like we're actually listening to each other. When I'm talking, you're listening. When you're talking, I'm listening, right? So the thing, it is about good listening skills and good communication skills, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable, allowing yourself to be humble when you're communicating with other people, and allowing other people to witness you. That's a big part of it. Just allowing, and that's been really hard for me. That's actually been really, really hard for me. I'm still working on that one. I play music in a pub, and I had 2 tourists that were down from Dublin there last Sunday. And whatever way I turned at them and they said something, they're like, "Oh, whoa, I didn't mean to offend you or something." There, it was just, I'm defensive still. Part of me is still defensive because of my vulnerability of playing music and singing in a pub.
Yeah.
You know, and it's very hard to allow all of this programming, that's the subconscious programming that has made you to be closed off to people in so many different ways. This wall that we all have, and it's all fear-based stuff. You know, it's actually coming back to being a child again in many ways, to allow yourself to be as vulnerable and as innocent as a child with people around you.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what it comes down to. That's what people love about being around kids. I love being around kids because they have that vulnerability and that innocence about them, that the love for life and connection, love for learning and being in nature, and the wow factor from simple things. You know, a lot of that is gone in adults, unfortunately. You know, I think you can relearn it again.
You can, absolutely. It's just having that willingness and then being shown the tools and different techniques of how to actually access your inner child.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is a relearning program.
It is, yeah.
It is, and it's important that we put the structures in place to help people to realize that this is what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to help us all to be able to relinquish an awful lot of the self-suffering programs that we're carrying that are causing so much suffering inside all of us. You know, there's a whole raft of stuff going on, not every one of us.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's a process. It's like peeling away layers of an onion, you know, and it's like it's not a overnight job or even a few months. It's a daily process. It really is.
It is, and it's a daily process in as much as that. And the more you change yourself, then you actually make other people nervous around you as well. This is a big part of it, because you lose friends and you earn new ones. Do you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely, yeah.
And you make other people feel intimidated or vulnerable themselves, feelings you don't recognize by your own presence. Because when you start peeling back the layers of the onion, as you so well put there, is that you make other people more aware of themselves, whether that be good or bad, because they pick up on the point that you're giving out. And if you're sitting in a group of people and if you're very happy in yourself, and if that larger group of people are not, then you're the outsider. Then you see, you make yourself target in a way. You do, just from being sitting with yourself. I teach mindfulness as part of my work every day, and I do it more and more all the time because I recognize the power of it.
Yeah.
And when you show mindfulness to somebody for the first time, it's just a wow factor. Like, it really is, especially someone whose nervous system is shot to pieces.
Yeah.
And they're like, I had never experienced anything like that before. It could be just something as simple as breathing and just connecting in with your body, connecting in with the sounds around you, connecting in with your breath, connecting in with the air that's around your face, and being able to just bring the senses to feeling the air moving around your face and the temperature of the air. You know, very simple stuff can really empower people.
Yeah.
And change their direction completely. When they're completely out of their mind, out of their body. And that's where a lot of people are. I think that's where they are. A lot of people, so much going on, so much coming at us from so many different directions that I know I was.
Oh yeah, and me too as well. Like, I mean, it's because when you go into everything, it's just like, it's just a tornado out there. And you know, to find a level of peace inside it's quite a journey to get to that point. And it's not, you know, hold it continuously, but it's like, you have, you know, you can hold on to it even despite outside forces maybe moving you slightly, but you're never getting completely pulled out by the outside world as you were previously. Yeah,
you're not reacting as quickly to events happening in and around you.
Well, have you felt in your journey that since you've made all these changes in your own self, that you're obviously have your center now, but have you attracted in like new people that are on that same vibration? Do you feel like since you've changed that you're giving out a different signal, that you're attracting different types of people into your life?
Yeah, I attracted in all different types of people over the last 5 years. Some very dark characters and some very, you know, light characters, and they all had lessons for me, lessons for themselves, and you know, they all helped me along my path, whether I liked it or not at the time. You know, and there's massive lessons there for me, massive lessons for other people. And I think that everybody that you come into contact with, that you allow into your life, there's definitely lessons there for you, something to learn. You know, it's like a mirror being held up to you in some way, an aspect, whether it's your shadow self that you need to look at, that needs work, or you need to look at more self-awareness, the nicer aspect of your personality, the gentler aspect of your personality needs nurturing as well.
Yeah.
You know?
So say if somebody's listening to this and They are very like in a place of being very hopeless and despondent, and you know, they've discovered lots of issues that are going on in the world. What would be your first kind of piece of advice that you'd say for them? Like where should they go from here? Because obviously, you know, there's many options, but what would be your place of advice that you would offer to that person?
And well, all healing comes from the self. I mean, any healer that you go to or any therapist you go to, all they are is a guide reading, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it really comes down to looking at, well, what aspects of me that do I need to nurture? What aspects of my personality is lacking?
Mm-hmm.
Is it my relationships with other people? Is it my relationships with myself? Is it you know, my hobbies? Is it my work? Is it my family? Right? What aspect of me needs attention at this moment in time? Where am I falling down? What's making me feel bad about me? You know, and an awful lot of healing comes from service to other people. I've discovered this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you actually put a lot of energy into serving other people, that comes back to you. Comes back to you in many, many ways.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. And you know, changing your energy from, you know, trying to take advantage of someone slightly to try to help someone more. Just even that switch has a massive power. Just doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then from the more point of view, trying to help what's going on in the head, I would definitely look at some self-help books like Feel Fear and Do It Anyways.
Yeah.
A good book, A Road Less Traveled is another one. Conversations with God are some very good books there. Neil Donald Walsh's books, there's loads of them. Many good books. And then healing frequencies are very powerful.
Okay.
Because our bodies are just balls of energy, really, that vibrate at different densities, different levels, different frequencies. So we are just one big frequency range as a human being. And that when you listen to healing frequencies, they actually pull the different energy points in the body back into balance again. Mm-hmm. You can go onto YouTube and you can just go through a selection of them, just do a mix of healing frequencies and find which ones work for you. There's also singing bowls work very well as well. So just go into YouTube and type in singing bowls and you'll find a number of different guys sitting there on the ground and just making a vibration with singing bowls. Mm-hmm. And they're designed to connect in with different vibrations of your body, and they can then help to clear out an awful lot of the turbulence that's going on. When I do mindfulness with people, the 3 areas that I work is I ask them to see what's going on in the head during the mindfulness, and then the heart, and then the stomach. They're the 3 main points. And depending on the individual, there'll be all sort of turbulence going on in the head, or there'll be heaviness or tightness in the chest, or heaviness or tightness in the stomach area. Yeah. And these areas can all be worked on with vibration therapy, singing bowls, chanting, singing, you know, healing frequencies. It's a very good place to start, because if you're in such a bad state that you can't focus on anything, well, an awful lot of people are like that because their senses are really overloaded by external stimuli all the time. Yeah. And what people don't realize is that television and video games, they're all designed to put you into a state of trance. And you're being subliminally messaged all the time. And now, especially with violence, it's put into the back of your subconscious. It bypasses the conscious mind and goes straight through into the back, and you're actually programming your unconscious. That's what actually happens there. Yeah. And you see with a lot of kids. One of my clients said to me there recently that she banned the internet in the house for a month because her kids turned into zombies, her boys. And after a week, they were starting to open up and talk because they were going outside. You know? And it's all about frequencies. It's all about, well, everything that we take in to our 5 senses all turn into electrical current. Yeah. Everything. So looking at it from that perspective.
So then you're saying it's like if somebody's looking out and they're despondent and everything, but they're taking that in, that they're actually part of holding that, what the thing is that they don't want in place, because they're sending out that same electrical frequency out into the world from what they have basically taken in through media or whatever they're exposed to.
Yeah, you will. I mean, you will reflect back out what you're taking in some way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
You most definitely will, because it's what's present in you right now.
Yeah.
If you've been programmed to observe other behaviors, whether that be through video games or news media or whatever that may be, subconsciously that's going to have to come back out in some way, shape, or form. So it'll come back out in your communication, socially, or in work, or in recreation in some way. It's going to come out, whether that be through aggression or through negative conversation or thoughts about somebody or something that's bothering you, or a TV show that you didn't like, or if you're watching negativity all the time, absorbing that vibration negativity, it's going to come back out. You're going to pick the back up again. So yeah, you just have to let.
Yeah. So from what you're saying, it's like it's important for people to be like very mindful of the choices of what they're taking, like in terms of their media or whatever entertainment that they're actually exposing themselves to, and how that will then maybe interfere with their own process if they're healing. If they're trying to use different therapies, that if they're then bombarding themselves, that really cuts off that lovely healing energy that can come through.
Yeah, in the book Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, Susan Jeffers has a very good graphic in that, where you've got a big box, and in that you've got loads of little boxes, right? And if you have an addictive personality, which an awful lot of people do, they tend to rely on a few little boxes to make the big box, right? And then if one of those goes, you're in big trouble. So like an alcoholic would be, I'm in 100% in with drinking. I'm a gambler. Gambling is the center of my life, or sex, or whatever it may be, right? So one of those, right? If you populate your life with loads of different things, right, and then you start pulling out the negatives, you still have loads of positive stuff. You won't miss the negative too much. Start plonking in really positive stuff that you want to do. And do it regularly, because it takes 21 days to develop a new neural program.
Yeah.
Your new neural synapses to be created, to be born in the body, in the mind. So you have to take time, and you have to be disciplined.
Yeah.
And when I started my new business, I wasn't disciplined at all. I was all over the place, because I was many years not working and researching and living like a hermit up in Wicklow, and my mind was just like floating all over the place, all these different ideas, and there's no grounding at all. It took me a long time to form new habits and to be consistent and to be true. And I found my memory started to improve then. So my memory was atrocious. I couldn't remember what I said 5 minutes ago. Everything was too free flowing. So you need to have put a structure in your life.
Yeah.
A very strong regime of structure, balance, and discipline into your life to be healthy and happy and balanced. You just have to do it, and there's no half measures here.
Yeah.
And when you do it over a period of time, you don't take on too much at one go.
Yeah.
When people come to me and they're fresh in the door for a session, I don't talk about 20 different things. I keep it simple. I talk about 1 or 2 or 3 things. Next day they come and talk about a few other things, and I just check in to see where they are. Well, how'd you get on with this, and this? Yeah, I didn't do this and this. I did that one. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's move on to something else. And it's like Lego, and you just build it over a period of time.
Yeah.
And you find that your confidence starts to grow, and you find that your enthusiasm for life starts to improve, and your motivation starts to improve, and how you see yourself and your body image starts to improve, and your overall well-being and happiness starts to improve over a gradual period of time. Will you have setbacks? Yes, you will. You'll have many of them. It'll be 2 steps forward, it'll be 3 steps back sometimes.
Yeah.
And then there'll be 3 steps forward and 1 step back other days. So it's just a matter of constantly stepping towards your ultimate goal, which is overall happiness and well-being in yourself and in how you see other people around you as well.
And the power in that, as we do that individually, how that then will start to change the energy of our community and our global community, then the world eventually, when more and more people start to step into this and start to really practice it consistently.
Well, yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, it's like the amount of well wishes and thoughts and loving energy that was directed towards me there at the opening last Saturday at the centre was incredible. Like, I mean, it's over 70 people that turned up, most of them my previous clients, that were so happy with the results that they got, that they felt they had to come on the day and be part of it. And that created an energy all in itself. And that started from my own self-discipline, my own self-belief. And it took me a long time. There's a saying called fake it till you make it. And it sounds very American, I know, right? But it actually does work. Right? And for a long time, I was getting up in the morning and I didn't like myself very much. And I had a stream of negative thoughts coming through my head. Yeah, and I was like a bear first thing in the morning. I didn't want to talk to anybody. Still made myself go to work, start doing what I'm doing. I worked on my own for 2 years. Quite a lonely period of my life for quite a while. Even though I was working with people, they're there for help. And you're on your own, you know. And it took me a long time to develop the skills and discipline and the belief in myself. And I've now developed a much stronger musical talent as well, where I now can sit and play in pubs and I can play on my own now. I never would have even dreamt of doing that 5 years ago. No way on earth would I have sat in a pub and entertained people by myself. Now I can do it. I can do it myself. I can do it with one other lad. I can do it with 2 others. I can do it. It's no problem. It just took me a long time of just constantly chipping away at the negative thought programs that were there. It's possible to do it. They're only thought structures at the end of the day, and they can be replaced with more positive ones. It just needs time and patience and nurturance, and don't be afraid to ask for help from other people around you. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I feel inspired from listening to you tonight. So I'm sure everyone watching this will be delighted to hear all your experience, and hopefully will reach out and send some fine people down to Tramhór.
Yeah, you're all very welcome to come down and check out the new Trámhór Wellness Centre. And there will be many more like them, because it seems to be the time now for this sort of centre to start again. This is not something that's new. This is something that's as old as the hills. It's just the latest representation of what came before. That's all it is. I mean, people are still people at the end of the day, and all people want is to be happy and to be appreciated, to be loved, and to feel protected in their environment. And have shelter and have food. You know, we are simple at the end of the day, and all we want is to be nurtured. You know.
Totally. We just make everything so complicated.
We have, but it's all part of evolution. At the end of the day, technology came along, took complete control of our lives. It ran ahead of us, miles ahead of us, and now we've got to catch up with technology and go, hey, technology, take the back seat, buddy.
Exactly.
I'm back in control now. You're just here to help us along the path. You're not supposed to be surveying us every fucking moment of the day. You're supposed to be there to sit beside us and like a good dog and look after us and protect us. That's what you're supposed to be for. So technology, in my head, is like a child who walks into one of the old grand sweet shops. You see all these jars of sweets, and you're like the child is just stuffing his face with like copious amounts of sweets, and my God, look at all the colours and the smells, and we're all gorging. We've got the greatest bellyache there ever was. That's where humanity is with technology at the moment. It's only new. It's only very new. It's only a blink in the eye of history of the world. We have to kind of go and realize this and go, Jesus, we're just got a massive tummy ache right now that we haven't figured out that, maybe we shouldn't be eating every single sweet in one go. Maybe we should be taking our time and learning about the flavors and this and that, and take our time and take a little bit and go off and come back again another day. You know, we'll get there. And I'm sure that the youths that's out there right now that are walking on zombified with technology, looking on the ground instead of looking up in front of them when they're walking the streets, they'll cop on eventually. They just need some nurturance and some help.
And they need strong role models and leaders to give them like a new template.
And that's where festivals will come into it. You know, festivals of music and creation and culture and arts, and create excitement and enthusiasm and energy. You know, bringing the creative process out in every human. I've heard too many people say, I'd never be able to do that. I couldn't do that. I'm not that sort of person. We all have creative talents, every single one of us. They're there, just have never been nurtured for whatever reason. You know, let's just dip in and find out what our talents are, latent talents are, and bring them to the fore and start celebrating. The ancient Irish used to have a festival every 6 weeks.
I like the sound of that.
Every 6 weeks, you used to have a festival. You celebrate life and celebrate the turning of the seasons.
Yeah.
Time is always moving on. It's always evolving in a spiral effect all the time. It's always changing and shaping all the time. Nothing ever stays the same.
Yeah.
Everything always changes. And you just need to get into the rhythm of that movement, the spiraling energy, and keep going, get into the flow of that.
Mm-hmm.
Once you realize that you're actually not in control of anything, and then you have some sort of peace in yourself, you start trying to put everything into a box. We're brilliant at putting everything into boxes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not everything fits into a box. Life doesn't fit into a box. You might go into a box at the end of it. Some people might. I won't. I'll go out with a flame. That's my plan.
You'll have a Viking funeral, I'd say.
Yeah.
out into the sea.
That's not a bad idea. I think I'd like to go that way, yeah.
I had a granddad that actually wanted to have a Viking funeral. It wasn't allowed, apparently. So that was derailed, that idea.
I get your banks to fire up an arrow up into the sky. Land into a big bale of hay in Tramhór Bay. Big flame. See you later, buddy. Yeah. So yeah, there's it's exciting times up in this stage. There's so much going on, you know.
Yeah, really and there's so much hope because I think, you know, so many of us have gone before a lot of people and kind of carved the way. Not that it's the only way, but, you know, as in like to be able to facilitate other people's processes for them to come out of their cocoon that they're in. Yeah.
Well, absolutely. You know, and you just have to be gentle with people at the end of the day because everyone's suffering in some way, shape, or form. They just are.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just to be expected. I mean, as I said before earlier on, like it's, you know, the people that are stopping now and are stopping the cycle of hurt that they have taken on from the programming from their ancestors. They're the bravest souls.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they're the bravest souls. It's so difficult to go, right, that's it, had enough of self-suffering programs I'm carrying, taking on everyone else's, not doing it anymore, mom, dad, sister, brother, friends, workmates, TV, radio, sorry, no more, not doing it anymore, had enough, you know. I'm just going to clear out all the rubbish that's accumulated, that has been implanted in me, and getting rid of all of it. That takes a hell of a lot of bravery, and a lot of hard work. When you consider you got like over 20,000 thoughts a day.
I know, yeah. That's
you know what I mean?
That's a lot of, there's a lot of stuff to clear out.
It's a lot, like, and you can't police all of that. So it's a huge, huge undertaking. And my hat is off to anybody that wants to go down that road.
But I think the gifts that you get from it though far outweigh the challenges that you go through. Do you know, as in like what you get from it is far greater than you could ever imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's every day is a school day. You know, you're learning about yourself every day, learning about other people every day. When you start to become more self-aware and start to become more self-aware of the behaviors and attitudes for people around you, and it's difficult to remove yourself from people that you've known for a long time. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Yeah. There is no choice. If you are in the company of people around you that you're hurting or they're hurting you by you just being you, or them being themselves, then something has to give. Either you remove yourself, or they remove themselves, or they remove you. Yeah. You know, and that's what's going to happen. You start changing, it affects everybody else around you.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, and then you make the space for the right people to show up then.
That's exactly it. You do. You absolutely do. You will attract in other people. I certainly have.
Yeah, me too. Well, I went through a lot of isolation and loneliness, and I was going to be on my own. You know, like that was like the dark night of the soul, and not knowing what was going to go. That's a huge part of it. But then at the end of it, you kind of go, I was always knowing that it would work out deep down. Yeah.
Well, that's it. I think we all do, because you wouldn't keep going otherwise.
No.
You wouldn't keep moving towards your goals of clearing out that wish needs to go. If you didn't believe that you were moving towards something good,
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
So we will wrap up for tonight.
Okay.
And so thank you so much, James. And do you want to say anything before we go? Like, what's your final words?
Just look after yourself and just be mindful, that's it. And things will become more clear the more that you become more aware.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, really.